Welcome to Wisdom Couple. This is where you like to explore ideas that help us all live a bit more thoughtfully.
That's right.
And today, we're diving into something really fundamental, how we make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
A huge topic. Yeah, it really is. We want to look at why it can sometimes feel so tough and, pull out some key ideas that might help you navigate your own choices with a bit more clarity.
Exactly. We've all been there, feeling sort of overwhelmed. The goal today is maybe to offer a slightly fresh perspective, help move towards making more confident, maybe more considered decisions.
Okay, so let's get into it then. One of the first things that really struck me is this idea that, well, every single decision involves a trade-off, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Every single one.
We tend to focus on what we might gain, but maybe we don't always fully register what we're actually giving up in the process, that opportunity cost.
That's such a crucial point. It's not just about the shiny potential gain. A good decision really involves weighing up what you're willing to let go of.
Right.
And asking, is what I might gain really worth that sacrifice based on my values? Even small things like choosing food or big life choices like a career path.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And it feels like our emotions get tangled up in that evaluation too, right? It's not purely logical.
Oh, definitely not. Our emotions play a massive role. Sometimes they hijack the process entirely. You've got the sort of thinking brain and the feeling brain.
And the feeling one often shouts louder.
It really does.
Yeah.
Think about times maybe anger or anxiety pushed you into a choice you later regretted. So developing that self-awareness, just noticing when emotions are high, that's key.
Like pausing before reacting.
Exactly. Creating a little space between the feeling and the action, maybe journaling or just talking it through.
Right. Okay. And another fascinating angle is how we deal with time. It seems we're wired to favor now over later.
That's the present bias in action. It's powerful. We really tend to overvalue immediate gratification and seriously underestimate the long-term consequences.
Yeah, you see it everywhere. Health, habits, finances.
Absolutely. The power of compounding, whether it's good habits or bad ones, building up over time, it often gets lost because we think so linearly.
So how do we fight that? How do we shift perspective?
Well, consciously asking yourself, what are the likely future outcomes of this choice? How might this play out in a year, 5 years? That can help counterbalance the pull of the immediate.
Okay. So given all these internal biases like emotions and time perception, are there tools or like frameworks that can help structure our thinking?
Yes, definitely. Structured approaches can be really useful. For instance, there's something called the CSD matrix: certainties, suppositions, doubts. It helps you map out what you actually know, what you think you know, and where the unknowns are.
Okay, that sounds practical.
It is. Or focusing on the why Simon Sinek's golden circle idea, really understanding why you're making a particular decision, what core motivation is driving it.
Yeah, anchoring to that why feels important. It's easy to get lost in the what and how.
It really is. And just being aware of common pitfalls helps, too. Like getting stuck trying to find the perfect decision, which leads to paralysis.
Right, analysis paralysis.
Or falling for how information is presented, the framing effect. Just knowing these traps exist can help you step back and be a bit more objective.
So ultimately, it sounds like making good decisions comes down to really understanding ourselves better, our values, our biases.
Precisely. And the context, of course. Reflecting on your core values is like having a compass. When things get tough, ask, which option truly aligns with what matters most to me?
That makes sense.
And crucially, learning to embrace the uncertainty. There's rarely a truly perfect decision with no downsides. It's about making informed, thoughtful choices you can stand behind, even with the unknowns.
Okay. Well, we hope this deep dive has given you some useful things to think about regarding your own decision-making. It really is an ongoing journey, isn't it? Learning and becoming more self-aware.
Absolutely. A lifelong practice.
So maybe reflect on what stood out for you today. Is there anything you want to explore further in your own life? Thank you so much for joining us on Wisdom Couple. If you found this discussion valuable, please do like, share, and subscribe for more explorations into living wisely.
Yeah, we'd appreciate that.
Keep reflecting on the power of your choices and the wisdom you gain from each one.